I almost want to pull up that song and see if you know it. I'll play it for you later. See if you know that song.
Is it really folky? Because I don't like that kind of music either.
No, I don't think so. Hang on, I'm going to put my phone on shut the hell up mode. I don't think it is.
I think they should have modes like that on our phones for our spouses. We just kind of...
Yeah.
Where's the shut the hell up button?
Can you put me in shut the hell up mode?
Yeah.
You wish.
I keep trying, but my button doesn't work.
Yeah, that's because I
maybe I should create one.
You know how many wives would purchase that feeer on their phones? Actually, I feel like more husbands would purchase the shut the hell up feature for their spouses.
But I would make it so men's fingerprints don't work on the phone when they try to use it.
Well, but the funny thing is, you still wouldn't know how to use it because it's technology, and then you'd have to ask for me. You'd ask for my help, and I wouldn't be able to help you because you disabled my fingerprints.
Yeah, well, our daughter says to her 6-year-old Lucy, you get too possessive over that. You're the phone, too territorial. Give me the phone. You're not holding it. So I have to start saying that to you. You get too possessive and territorial with your remote. Give me that thing.
With the remote. I thought you meant with the phone.
Well, that too. But I don't have any power when it comes. I don't even know how to work the remote because I never hold it.
You didn't go through training.
I can't. I'm still on the wait list.
That's it. There's a training program for how to use. How to understand a remote.
I still have never been accepted.
No, but okay, one of the few times that you actually get your hands on it, what do?
I can't find a darn thing.
And then you ask me, here, can you figure this out? Mm-hmm. Not all the time, but
my control is Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
I just speak it in, Patrick.
Yep.
And then I scroll for 2 hours and I'm just going to go to bed. There is crap on TV.
Mm. Well, that's true even when I have the remote. There's some good stuff, but...
Is there?
There's better stuff on podcast. Like
right
this
here.
show.
You can just...
Yes.
Just saying.
Did we start already? Kind of feels like we started.
Let's just start. We just started talking.
Yeah. So what is this? Episode 13? Is that right?
We begin again was 11, so then so 13.
Episode
that
lucky.
3.
Lucky.
It's Friday 13th.
No, it's not. You liar.
Is it? Oh,
it's not. I'm looking at the clock going. It's actually
it's
almost 2 solid weeks beyond that. But good try.
Menopause brain. It's just
no. So here we are, episode 13 of. Yes, dear. And as we've talked about since we rebooted a couple of episodes ago, I think our plan is to be a whole lot less scripted and more, more just natural in who we are. Not that we weren't before, but I think just to, I've talked about this. We've talked about this in prior episodes that I think the banter is one of the best parts of our relationship. And so...
Can I just say your voice sounds really sexy right now?
Really?
Sometimes it does. It's like a little soft, but...
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, of course, Sam's going to be like,
Sam is not listening to this anyway.
Mm-hmm.
None of our
one
kids.
day, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. No, actually, so I had a thought. As I was just thinking about the fact that we were going to sit down and record today, on a serious note, I thought we'd talk about heroes.
Heroes,
yes. Not the sandwich kind, because I feel like that's
where I come from in
Jersey.
You don't call it heroes. They're subs. Okay?
They're subs. I agree. They're not heroes. They're not hoagies. They're subs.
Yeah.
And in particular, the one from Tasty Sub in Edison, New Jersey.
Poor boy.
Well,
have you ever had a poor boy? You've never had it.
I haven't.
I've had Tasty Subs.
And they're tasty.
They have more meat, and I don't want as much meat.
See, that's how I grade my sandwich. Is like There you go. I feel like now we have to have subs for dinner. But no, actually, like back to what like heroes. Because here's why. Here's what prompted this. I don't know if you had a thought, but I apparently don't care. I have hijacked this episode like I have hijacked the remote.
Welcome to my world.
But you know this, so insight into anybody who's listening is it's been a challenging week, right? It's been a challenging week, more than usual. I think work, not necessarily for us relationally. In fact, that's always, I shouldn't say always good. That's great right now. Just professionally, just work wise, it's been a very challenging week, and I don't want to derail the whole conversation. But by going into the into the details, it's just been a very challenging week.
Yeah.
And I've just, for me personally, just like felt that all week long, and then it just seemed to get progressively worse to the point where even probably 2-3 hours before we're sitting down to record this, I was just really struggling with, how do I show up? I mean, I always want to show up authentically, so I don't want to fake it. But, sometimes when you just have those, whether it's a day or a week or a season where it just becomes challenging, it just becomes hard to show up feeling your best. And then a little over a couple hours ago, I had a scheduled phone call with our son and daughter-in-law who actually support this podcast. They're the ones.
Not our daughter-in-law yet.
Well,
I mean, we see her that way, but
I think of her as.
Don't give her that title yet, because what if she doesn't want it?
Well, why wouldn't she?
Just saying.
Why would she not want to marry into this family?
Well, she'll want us, but I'm not so sure,
Well, as we've said to all of our kids' boyfriends and girlfriends, the only way you get to us is through them. So.
And we know that B really just wants to hang out with Danny because he wants to get to you.
That's what I'm saying.
Jessa, I think, likes to hang with me, so I'll give you that.
See, that's what I'm saying. All of our kids, their significant other, we're part of the attraction. And so, okay, back to Chris and Anya. They support this podcast. They actually support all of our podcasts, your podcast, my business podcast, and a lot of our social media as well, in particular for the work that we do. And I just have to admit, again, just because of the place that I was in, it was I wasn't looking forward to getting on a phone call and talking about social media or podcasting or really work. It was part of me. I didn't want to really talk about anything. I just kind of wanted to run away and hide the rest of the day, which is really kind of where I've been the last couple of days. Had a great first part of the conversation with Anya. She's awesome. And then Chris got on the phone. And for those who don't know, Chris is our son. He's our second in the line of 5. And just minute by minute by minute, everything shifted for me. Everything shifted. It was, he's inspiring. He's funny. As I was just putting a word to all of it, he's one of my heroes. And I think the shame on me is that I don't think he knows that. Right. That's like, how is that possible that we've known each other for, practically, for almost 3 decades. And, for him to not know that is, again, shame on me. He's awesome. He is by far the funniest person I know. But that wasn't even the point of our phone call today. And I think I acknowledged at one point, he was like, yeah, actually I did. I remember I said, Chris, this has been a really helpful phone call for me, really great conversation for me, because I said, it's been a rough week. And, he asked, it's like, anything I can help with? Are you okay? You're good? I said, yeah, none of that really matters. And it just brings back, we talked work. We ended up talking, Chris and I talked for probably about an hour and a half. and it was mostly work, with a few fun things in there, and because he really is, honestly, this may disappoint our other kids, but I actually think our other kids would admit Chris is the funniest person we all know.
He's getting the number one slot.
He's hilarious. He's a funny guy. He's incredibly quick-witted, funny, self-deprecating, but inspiring in a whole lot of ways. And I shouldn't say but, and inspiring in a whole lot of ways. And he, just listening he was coaching me the whole time on social media, podcasting. He and Anya, Chris has really been the forefront because Anya's just recently joined this. They have exploded our social media numbers. They've exploded them. We've been at our other, our business podcast. This is our, we're 3.5 years in, and it's, the traction that they've gotten. So it's just, he was coaching me. It was really, I found myself half listening as a client of his, and half listening as just a really proud dad. It's like, wow, he knows his stuff, and he sees it differently. It's always been Chris's gift, is I think he just sees everything differently. And he wasn't even intentionally trying to influence me or my mood but he did. Yeah. And I was like, wow, it not just today. Chris has always been he's a hero. When you know his story, and who he is today, and the journey that he's taken to get here. I mean, he's not just my hero. I think he's a hero to a whole lot of people. And so I just thought, I don't know, just that was a topic on my mind to talk about is heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, going through my kids are always my heroes. Each one of them. We have 5, and they're every single one. I mean, I went through my cancer. When I was diagnosed with cancer, one of the first things I did was make my own mindset little binder that I could literally look at every day. And every single child, and you and my mom, each one of them were in there. If I had to pick my heroes, that across the board right there. Because you look at Mandy, and she is just, everybody needs a friend like her who would just, she's solid. She shows up for people who just need her, and she's steady Eddie, Mm-hmm. I'm just solid. And, yep. Her husband, he's got a servant heart. I really admire that about him and her, and together they make a really great pair. Chris, out of the box, by far our most out of the box. I remember going into, he's not our school kid, and I remember the director there said, "You got a director in you." And I don't know if Chris ever looked at himself that way, but he just sees the world differently. We saw that as a child, he's strong-willed, and I love that about him. Mm-hmm. And yet generous, so generous to help people. It's Mandy too. All our kids are so generous. Yep. And so I wrote every single Mandy. I had Chris's, then you get to Justin, and he is the way. The boys are similar in that, they trust the process. It's such a lesson for me. Dana, trust the process going through that cancer stuff. Trust the process. Discipline. Do what you got to do. And everything like that. Justin never seeks to be, everybody would probably love to be, top, the starter, the whatever. Justin, again, he's loyal, tenderhearted, man. He just show up, leader, but he won't be.
Incredibly disciplined.
Yeah. Then you get to Danny, and Danny, to me, I call her the pit bull of the family, right? She's so probably, super, probably most competitive of the family, which I admire because it's not me. But when I was going through my cancer stuff, I really picked up her mindset to go, this is my opponent. It's not going to win. Like I just really picked that up from her. And she's affectionate. Like the people she loves, super generous. And and I really fear, I remember whenever she gets on the court, it's like, oh my gosh, like, I remember like some girls plowing into her brick wall and she got a concussion. Oh, Danny just wouldn't, like, no fear on the court. If she had fear, I never saw it. Mm-hmm. And then you get to Sam, and Sam, I always say to her, it's really fun to watch a powerhouse in the making, because she's smart. She feels what people feel. I mean, I think people undermine the strength that's in her and that's coming out. They're all so different and creative. And then what I love about you is you can sit in hard crap and not move. That's incredibly inspiring to me. I mean, oftentimes where I think you are best, whether it's coaching clients, whether it was us in our marriage, whether it's with people that we weren't coaching or clients, yet it was our friend. You just have this ability to go, okay, this is ugly right now, but I'm just right here. And not everybody could do that. It's one of the things I absolutely love about you. And that's a huge inspiration for me. And then I get to my mom. And I'm like, my mom is... I told her recently, Mom, and I wanted her to hear this. I don't know why. We were in a conversation. And I just said, I just want you to know this. Because she comes home from Alaska. She's only here for a few months. I said, we've officially become your, storage unit. You no longer really live here, but your stuff is here. And if you could do me a favor, get rid of half of it because you don't use it anymore. But she's really inspiring to me because in a lot of ways she's really opposite of me. And I really value that in her. My brother is more like her, adventurous. They want to she's the butterfly of the family. And her motto is, it's got to be fun. And as a kid, I was more, what she would say was more like the responsible kid. I kind of, Mom, you got to go through the mail. Mom, I clean the cabinets. Mom, doing all. And I just help maintain the home. But she's always like, well, it's got to be fun. And I'm like, we don't have time for fun. You got to, we got to raise kids. And I was one of her kids. But what I said to her is she will go out of her way to reach everybody that is important to her. She gets on this trip and she's got her list of people she has to stop and see, and she doesn't want to miss anything. And I said, Mom, at your funeral, you just have to know every single person who will be there, here's your legacy. You may drive some of us crazy. You may get under our nerves. We may not agree with you or like some of the things you do, but dang it, everybody will go, but I knew she loved me. And she doesn't have money, but what a legacy. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's my hero. The thing that probably means the most to her is her car outside. And she even gave it a name.
And then it sits in our driveway for months at a time unused.
Yeah, we should charge her parking.
I was just right with
long term.
Daily parking at the airport is how much? Isn't it $14 a day?
We're really giving this stuff away.
I'm going to grab my calculator.
We should also even look up, do me a favor, ask chat how much we could charge for a storage unit too. Because the bigger the storage unit, the more money we can get. So she's got a lot of junk.
We can totally pay for those. We can pay for this stuff. We can totally pay for those subs tonight. You think I'm joking? I really want subs now for dinner.
That's hilarious. So, you can get them. You're a big boy.
No, I know I focused on Chris because it was kind of the catalyst for the conversation, but it is a much broader. They're my heroes, and I honestly think maybe this is. I don't know. Some of the maybe it's an introspective moment. I think you're one of the few people in my life that makes me feel like I'm your hero, right? And that's which life changing for me, right? Path changing for me. And it's why I don't want my kids to not know every one of them, I just think they're all so different, so unique. They blend together in some ways so well, and in some ways so oddly. I think one of the things, just a theme that runs through all of them is it's that humor, that fun, which, this, like, to me, I just feel like that's the secret to life, is to be able to find the silliness, find the humor, find the joy in it. And when you're right. I mean, Mandy's a rock. Like, what she, again,
It's
very
immovable.
similar to Chris, and just right, just a challenging path like so many of us have had, and to blaze her own path, to blaze her own trail in such a different direction, to now be like the rock at home for a family of 7 when you count her husband, when you count Dan. It's just crazy. She said steady Eddie. I think she's just a rock, and she's funny. I think there's plenty of moments where it's like, she's a different kind of funny, not silly funny. There's a I don't know. I can't even put my finger on it, but it's she's
Her
our
one-liners, and could get a little.
And then I think I almost Mandy is. I can see, there's like that little dance thing that she does. It's like it's like this, it's like this.
She's gonna appreciate that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that again.
I'm gonna do that tonight when the subs arrive.
Okay.
And then I have talked about Chris, and then there's Justin. I think I know I have said to Justin so many times is how much I admire his discipline. You said he just trusts the process. He's, when you feel like every team he's ever been on, he's the first one in the gym. He's the last one to leave. He's always putting the team above himself. He's been recognized for that on a number of teams, where he is right now, on staff at Tennessee Tech, just like how he's risen from, the day he got there to where he is now. It's fun to watch him literally when we watch his games on TV here in Oregon. We see him on TV every single week, because wherever the head coach is, just to his left or to his right is Justin. And it's why? Because he's hardworking, he's disciplined. He's like, and that's, I know he didn't get that from me. Like, I know that's his unique greatness. And then there's Danny. If Chris is the funniest person I know, Danny's probably the second funniest. And the irony there is, I was worried about this when, and we all know this. We know this story. I won't rehash it here, but
nope, you got to tell it now, because now people are like, "Why?"
I was just worried. Danny was the one who would make the joke. This is as like a very small kid.
Yeah,
she was trying.
Like 4 or 5.
I think the irony is, in hindsight, she was perfecting it. Like, she was practicing the humor at probably the youngest age. Like, she was like, and it shows, because you can see now how she's really crafted it quite well. But some of those early days, she'd throw something out and it was crickets, and she'd be the only one laughing. And it was, there were moments where I was like, oh no, I raised the unfunny kid. And it couldn't be further from the truth, but she's so much more than that. She loves fiercely. She plays, she competes fiercely. I think that's it. Danny does everything fiercely. Yep. And to your point, I think just in the last couple of years, and maybe even just in the last year, really seeing this tender side that's obviously always been there. That's a really cool counterpoint, or really cool different perspective to that ferocity on the other side. So that combination. She's our most
like frilly girl right now. Like, loves the Yep.
And then there is Sam, and Sam is she's, gosh, how do you, Sam probably has the at least my sense is the greatest clarity about what she wants to do with her life. So she moves with purpose. Like when I think about Samantha, there's not a whole lot of frivolity. And I don't mean that she's not fun, because she's very fun, but everything is like, it's very intentional and calculated and planned. And you see it in the projects that she's been given, either, for us when she did some work for us in the business or at school. She's very planful, very intentional, and she gets results. Each of them have these gifts. They're all heroes in their own right, and
I'm thinking of some funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't know where. I mean, I'm grateful they got all this from someplace. Okay. Let me bring this home, since you mentioned me in that process. You have always been the rock of this family. You have, even in those years when I wasn't, or those moments when I didn't, you were always the rock in this family. And when I look at, and I'm as proud dad, let's trust me, we are not the parents that think our kids are perfect or flawless. Like we see, they're human. Welcome to the club. Yeah. But we do get a lot of compliments from the people who know them on just how good they are. They're good people. They're just good people. And honestly, that is so much more your influence than my influence. I was there, but man, it's so, I just think everything that I thought I was getting when I married you, when it comes to mom, when it comes to, the rock, because I had the benefit of seeing you do that with Mandy and Chris when we first started dating. So I was like, I didn't have to wonder what you might be as a mom or how you might look as a mom. I got to see it in action, and that probably is what attracted me to you more than anything. That, and you were hot. And I said that specifically.
Now our kids are going to be like, bleh.
Yes, that's exactly. I snuck that in there just for that.
Yeah, you're welcome, Samantha.
But yeah. So, heroes. That's just kind of you're all heroes to me in one way or another. And it's just I usually like to come on here and just be more silly, but it's just a little more poignant today because of my own week and how I got here, and what did it take to get me out? It took one of my heroes, and that's the mood I'm in. Deal with it.
Yeah. Well, as you were talking about each one, I was thinking about funny things, like they randomly were just hitting my brain. Like, do you remember Mandy, out of all our kids, do you remember when we lived in Texas? And she would do absolutely everything to get out of picking up dog poop in the yard. Like anything. Like, I got to go to the bathroom, and I got to go do it. And the other kids would be like, why does she not ever have to pick up poop? And now I laugh because she has kids where poop comes out everywhere. And thankfully, she has a husband who is so good to just go in and do all the work and clean it up. And I'm like, you should have picked up that poop. I'm telling you, payback stinks, literally.
Yeah.
So I always have a good chuckle with her. Yeah. And there's just a lot of funny moments that I've been, as you're talking, just randomly, so many funny things. Where Danny used to get those bracelets and put them on her face, and it used to like pull down her face really. That
would make me crazy. Yeah, those those rubber wristband kinds of things, like the Live Strong, or the What Would Jesus Do kind of bracelets, the rubber ones, and yeah, she'd wrap them around her face and scrunch her nose, and it would just, I don't know why, she just looked ridiculous. I've been saying this to Danny for years. Like that woman needs to be doing sketch comedy, because I just think that's her. Chris's comedy Chris's humor is so much in the one-liner. Like he's just got a wicked perspective that I mean, I like to think I see a lot of jokes coming. Chris, I don't see, but it's always I'm like, wow, that was smart. That was really good. Whereas Danny is more, I feel like Danny's more physical humor than Chris. But they're all, Justin's more dry.
All Justin needs to do is be in a room, because once he starts giggling, literally he can make millions of dollars if we could sell his giggle, because it's the greatest laugh on the planet. And you could have literally the worst day in the world and just listen. It's just the best.
Yeah.
I want to make it my ringer, because you would just crack up.
Yeah. And he gets that shake. His whole body will start to shake.
And then you think he's done, and then you see him shaking again. It's contagious. So we'll get to see them in a couple weeks. Or next week. We're seeing them next week.
That's right. Are we going to record next week? I was wondering this. We're going to be in.
We probably can't, because I'm not bringing my computer.
Yeah.
Not even have time. We have a 40-minute layover, so I hope we make it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go through all that and then just lug a computer around. No thanks. Okay. So,
what are they going to do without us?
You know what? That would have been really cool to record. You know why? We could have had probably Lucy as a guest on here.
Oh.
Lucy would have liked to be our guest.
Well, Lucy would have pushed us out and had the whole conversation herself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, what do you want to talk about? Mm-hmm. That's what she would do.
Yeah. I called to wish Sailor, one of our granddaughters, happy birthday the other day, and I got her for about 5 minutes, and then I got Lucy for about 20. Mm-hmm. And she made sure to pull the phone. Lucy made sure to take the phone far away from the other kids so that she couldn't be interrupted. Mm-hmm. So
yep. She's in charge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I got to ask, because this starts a new week.
Today's Friday the 13th. We've already established that.
Shut up. No, I got to ask, did you beat Jake? Did you play Jake last week, or are you playing him this week?
I played, Jake. That was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, in fact, I think I beat Jake by I think it was like a league record. I think I pretty much demolished Jake. He had it coming. Mm-hmm. He's Jake.
So do you guys talk trash?
Oh yeah.
All,
heck yeah.
I guess fantasy league players, do they all just talk trash?
Yeah, there are 12. You realize I think we're in our 20th year in this league. And so we go back pretty far. A lot of us, Jake's relatively new. I want to say he's been in the league for maybe 6 years, 5-6 years. But yeah, there's a little chat group. Not all the owners are in it, but 4 of us are in there, and we do talk quite a bit of trash, because otherwise, why do it?
So I gotta do you guys think you're owners, and because you'll do the whole thing you just did the other night? You're like, you see that guy? I own him. So do you guys really feel like you're, because when the guys play Madden and the games, it's you have to step in and go, guys, it's a video game. You're not really on the field calling the shots or playing. And it's this whole thing. So is it the same with Fantasy League, where you guys I
agree with you there. Video games, that's not real, but fantasy football is real. Yeah, it's amazing how much, and we all talk about this. It's anybody who's listening who does fantasy football knows exactly what we're talking about. It's amazing how much it can impact your mood.
We who are married or connected to those people, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just and yet every year we ask each other in this group chat, why do we subject ourselves to this? Why do we do this? Is this even fun? And yet we keep going back for more and more punishment. It's like marriage, I guess, when you think about it. In the long run, there are some good things, but man, there are some painful moments.
Well, you know what? It's kind of I have to see if I could find it, but it's I don't know if Danny sent it to you. There is or maybe it's Justin. One of them sent me a video, and it was a 12, 13-year-old kid, and he was a Jets fan. Did they send you that?
I think they spared me.
Well, they sent it to me because we all, kind of formed this alliance together. Like, it's not going to be a good day. Jets are losing. Dad's pissed. Everybody just go their merry ways. But this poor kid was like, I hate this. I hate this team. I hate this team. I was brought up into this team. I hate this team. They suck. And it's like, this poor child.
Yep. You know how kids blame their parents for like all the bad things? I blame my dad for all of my teams. We share all the same teams except for one. And I still picked one that sucked, that it was different from him. But yeah, I blame.
What was that one? Hockey?
Hockey, yeah. So I got from my dad.
Are you saying the Rangers suck? Did you just say that?
I did. I do.
Wow.
They do. Yes. It's pretty much a guarantee. We've talked about this. I don't know, on this show or other, 4 times a year, the 4 major sports, football, basketball, baseball, and hockey, 4 times a year, I get a giant kick to the groin every sports season because...
Well, baseball feels like that every time they play 1,000 games and they got to scratch and itch and spit just to throw a ball. I don't get it.
I just mean, well, that's because you don't scratch or spit or
I don't have to fix anything.
Yeah. If you did, you'd see the beauty of it if you did it more. But yeah, these are painful. And yet you hear this all the time. Just pick another team. I can't.
But you know who is my favorite player now that you're saying that?
Who's that?
Do you know who my favorite baseball player is? Even though I hate the sport. Who is my one and only probably player that we always talked about him when he was on. We lived in Phillipsburg at the time.
Oh, okay. So I thought you meant today.
No, I don't even know.
That's why I was shocked. I literally was like, are you watching baseball behind my back?
No.
Turk Wendell?
Yes. No other guy. He's got a little necklace he always wore, and he's got to jump over the lines, and he very, very superstitious. And it was just funny to watch that quirky.
Yeah, that was like late 90s, early 2000s, I think. Yeah.
Sam actually has kind of that way about her for her shows. She has like this routine, and like she doesn't talk about certain things. She won't do certain things. It's the whole.
That's what I said earlier. It's very intentional, very planful, very laid out. And she follows her routines, unless we're talking about her room, which I guess is probably a topic for another conversation.
It really is. It's not safe.
That
you
is
need
her
a hard
opportunity.
hat.
Her room is her opportunity to be
creative
from to be creative. Yes.
Don't even say that to her because she's going to use that against me.
Yeah.
I told her this weekend we're going to clean it because it's a hazard. Yeah. Speaking of hazards, overnight, not pretty. She threw up all night long.
Do you think she'd want you talking about that?
Yeah. If we could talk about her room being creative, we could talk about her. I mean, literally just threw up everywhere. It's called art.
I don't think I'm not participating in this conversation.
No, I'm not giving all the details of all things, but it wasn't pretty. Poor kid.
I honestly thought your days of cleaning up puke in the middle of the night were over.
I did too. I said to her, look, once you go to college, I'm not driving or flying wherever you're going to clean this up.
Yeah.
It was gross.
Is it ever not gross?
But this one was gross. You know why? The bathroom door automatically shuts by itself, and it's warm in there.
And I just feel like she doesn't want this talked about.
I'm not going into like other details. In general, every kid's throw up is disgusting. So I'll leave it there.
Okay. All right, let me ask, I got a question. Outside of our family, who is one of your heroes?
Wow, I have to think about it. Do you know yours?
No, I get to ask the questions.
Outside of our family. Well, for me, I mean, Anya asked, we were asking these table questions a while ago, and this is an easy one for me, so I'll answer it the same way, because one of the questions I was asked was, if you can, I think, meet 3 people that are, or have dinner with 3 people that are no longer alive, or something like that, who would you want it to be? And I said Martin Luther King Jr., Abraham Lincoln, and the Apostle Paul. And all 3 of them, that's an easy one for me, and it's because they all come down to fighting for freedom. Mm-hmm. It was all freedom. And that's really what I'm about to. So I think I would say them.
Cool.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, okay. So I prefaced it with outside of our family. I can look beyond that, right? Can I look to like extended relatives? Is that possible?
It's your question. I guess you could call the shots.
That's fair. It is my show. Wow. No pushback from that at all. I expected something.
No. I pick my battles.
I guess so.
But I'll remember.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
I actually would. So I want to. Well, what immediately comes to mind, outside of our immediate family, is my uncle. My uncle Frixel is his name, and it sounds like a silly name, but those are his initials. That, when said quickly, it's Frixel.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a just a big influence for me as a kid. I feel like I got a lot of my I feel like, my memories are that I feel like he was treating me like an adult even when I was a kid. Like, I don't mean like not letting me be a kid, but he, it was just like that respect, like got me, as a story for another time, got me my first real job. I could tell.
Oh, you got to tell. That is a great story that I just recently heard and I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
So I had a job. It
sounds like something he would do.
Yeah, I had a job right out of college that it was a sales job. Took me down to. This was when I was living on the East Coast, and I took a sales job that took me down to Washington and then to North Carolina, and I ended up leaving that for, it just wasn't right for me. So I moved back home and moved back in with mom and dad, and I just was temping. I was just doing some temp work while I was, 23, 24. Trying to figure out what do I want to be when I grow up. And I got a call from my uncle, I'm talking about here, who said, it was very simple. It was like, hey, send me your resume. He's like, I have there's an opening here that I think you would do great in. And I said, okay, like I needed a job. So I sent him my resume. And I don't remember how long after that it was that he called me and said, okay, we're going to bring you in for an interview. But that's what happened. He and his team, they decided they wanted to bring me in it was a job on his team. We're actually working with him, working alongside of him. And I showed up for my interview on that day. It was a long walk. I remember it was a very long walk from the parking lot, to his office, because it was a giant complex. This at the time was a company of 300,000 people. And so it was lots of buildings, so we were walking through a lot of hallways, and the whole time he was just prepping me. He's like, okay, here's what the job is for. Here's who you're going to be meeting with. And he was just coaching me, maybe focus a little bit on this, talk about this. Great. I'm soaking it in. We're literally like 20 feet from the room that I'm walking into where I'm going to be interviewed by these people. And he says, by the way, your name is Patrick Terry, not Patrick Lyons. And I looked at him, I said, what? And he said,
I love this.
We have a no nepotism policy here, so I had to change your name. The door opens and in I walk. And I'm literally stunned. I think I forgot everything he said up to that point, because now I'm here. I have to lie to these people because he told me to, and I'll never forget one of the first questions is, so how do you know Frank? It says, how do you know Fricksell? And on the spot, I was like, I can't say he's my uncle.
That's so good that you actually didn't just immediately go, it's my uncle.
Well, that's honestly,
I would have.
That is what I would have said had it not been for the 20 feet that he said to me, I changed your name. And by the way, Terry is my sister's name. So he just took my sister's name and made that my last name. So now I'm Patrick Terry. And he updated my resume. He put that on my resume. And they have it in front of them. It says Patrick Terry. And the first question out of the gate is, so how do you know Frank? And I just as quickly, it's almost scary how quickly I just jumped on board with this. I said, well, his father and my grandfather were close. And in reality, his father was my grandfather. Yeah. So that's pretty close. I was quite proud of that, but I also felt horrible. I'm like 23, 24 years old, and this is how it works. Like, you lie to people.
Welcome to adulting.
Oh man, I felt awful. But he thought he could have told me that at any point before I drove there. Nope, the last 20 feet go. And I did get the job. And it was at that point, and he told me about this afterwards, that when they were deciding, they asked, what do you think? And he said, well, listen, I'm going to stay out of this. I wouldn't have brought him here if I didn't think he could do the job, but I don't want to be part of the decision. You make the decision. They decided to offer me the job, and that's the point where he said, okay, I have a confession to make. And that's when he told them who I really was.
That is so great.
And I never forget, my first day, I was afraid to go in because I lied to these people. I was afraid. And he's like, it's fine. They're good with it. It's like, I'm not. So yeah, so my career started on a lie. That's,
Wow. Love that story. But that sounds like something your uncle would do.
That is, yeah.
Once you get to know him.
So in that sense, when you talk about like, why is he a hero? I think he's always looked out for me, right? He's always, aside from, throwing me into a situation I was completely unprepared for, he's always called out of me what I don't think I would have seen myself. And so big part of my, he's, definitely somebody I still love and admire. But,
yeah, a lot of heroes.
Yeah. Yep.
That's cool. Well,
there you go.
It's the weekend. It's Friday. I think we should start it. Ready?
Okay. I'm ready. Yeah. I was thinking about subs for dinner. What do you think?
You can get one. There's no good sub places here.
Jersey Mike's.
I don't eat lunch meat anymore.
Jersey Mike's. Today's episode is brought to you by Jersey Mike's.
Ooh, maybe they'll sponsor us.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. I like their bread, but
yeah. And
we'll probably find out it's one of the worst or something.
Yeah. Well, no. And you have to love Danny DeVito. They have great commercials.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah.
He would be cool to hang out with, but we're from Jersey, so we like him because he's from Jersey.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. That's all I got.
That's all we got. So thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.